So here's the scenario. You wake up one morning and you decide you're going to make yourself the most delicious meal you've had in a long time. You go to the store, you buy the best steak at the counter, you find the best, most fresh produce. Maybe that's potatoes and asparagus and mushrooms. You go home, you season everything, you cook it to perfection, you put it on a plate, and it's a work of art. You sit down and you start to eat it. And the first thought in your mind is, I can't wait until I sit on the toilet and see what this looks like. Of course, no one thinks like that about the simple act of eating. But on today's episode, we're going to talk about the Zen koan, do you eat so you can take a shit?
Welcome to Must I Evolve, a lecture series on spiritual growth and philosophy, presented in conjunction with No Expectations, the podcast.
Welcome to another episode of Must I Evolve, a space where ancient wisdom meets modern science, where inner work meets real-world results. I'm Andrew H. Housley, author, board-certified wellness consultant, certified holistic nutritionist, and yoga instructor with 25 years on the mat, and even more in mindful observation. This podcast is a mirror, a question, and sometimes a nudge. Let's begin with a question that might sound crass, but has startling depth of meaning if we take it apart. Do you eat so you can take a shit? A comedian did not pose this question. It came from Kodo Sawaki, one of the most influential Zen monks of the 20th century. He was often called the homeless Kodo because he never settled in one temple. Sawaki was known for his piercing honesty and ability to cut through superficial spirituality. His teachings were blunt, direct, and profoundly transformative. So this particular question isn't offered as a joke. It's a Zen koan that cuts through the noise of politeness and forces us to consider the function of our habits and the purpose of our routines. What are we really doing with our lives? What is all this consumption for? Is it for an outcome? In our daily rhythms, we often operate on autopilot. Eat, scroll, work, complain, sleep, meditate, repeat. We consume food, media, and stimulation constantly, but rarely pause to ask why. Are we simply sustaining cycles that go nowhere? Sawaki's question, as crude as it may sound, dares us to confront the absurdity of unconscious repetition. When stripped of meaning, the act of eating becomes nothing more than another step towards elimination. The cycle has no soul, and yet this is a metaphor for how many of us live our lives. Input and output machines, driven by appetite and avoidance, not intention. But what happens when we bring awareness into this cycle? Mindfulness transforms even the most mundane habits into potentially sacred acts. Eating becomes an opportunity to connect with life. Listening becomes a space to understand. Rest becomes restoration, not escape. The same act, eating, can be mechanical or meaningful depending on the presence we bring to it. This isn't just about food. It's about everything that we take in. Stories, relationships, conversations, environments. Are we digesting this life with care? Are we honoring what we absorb? Are we releasing what no longer serves us, or are we holding on to what poisons us? To break free from the loop, we must see it. We must notice the patterns we repeat mindlessly. The career path we followed because it was there. The relationship we maintain out of fear of being alone. The media we consume to avoid silence. Sawaki's question jolts us into awareness. The cycle only breaks when we bring consciousness into it, when we stop doing for the sake of doing, when we stop eating just to eliminate, when we start asking what nourishes me, what drains me, and what do I really want to cultivate? Evolution is not passive. It doesn't happen just because we age or move through time. It happens when we interrupt the loop, when we question our own momentum, and when we sit with discomfort long enough to grow through it. Kodo Sawaki's question might feel like a slap, but maybe we need that slap. Maybe it's time to wake up, not into shame, but into freedom. We're not here to consume and excrete. We're here to evolve. Make it a conscious choice. You are here to grow into the full weight of your presence, to awake to your life, not to live by default, but by design, not to recycle old patterns, but to sculpt a new path that reflects your deepest values and truest intentions. This isn't about perfection, it's about presence. So when you rise tomorrow and step into your day, ask yourself just once, why am I doing what I'm doing? What would it look like to choose this moment instead of inheriting it? The loop breaks the moment we become aware we're in one. And in that awareness, a new story begins. Not one of cycles, but spirals of growth, return, and expansion. Let's return to where we started, with the one question that seems ridiculous, but reveals so much. Do you eat so you can just take a shit? Maybe now you hear it differently. Maybe now it sounds less like a joke and more like an invitation. An invitation to wake up, to ask deeper questions, to notice the loops in your life, and the opportunity to live with intention. Because you're not here just to consume, you're here to evolve. Thanks for listening to Must I Evolve? Remember, you don't have to be perfect, you just have to be patient. That's the real practice. As for your next evolution, it doesn't live in who you should become, it lives in what already grows within you. Until next time, keep evolving, quietly, consistently, and always with no expectations.